Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm gonna show you guys me creating a Venasaur. It's a time lapse, but the process that it took for a newbie like me. I've never done stuff like this before. Well, I did like maybe 2 years ago, and I tried it a little bit but never got back into it. But you can see now, like, I'm doing a lot of testing on how to like put on his legs to see if it works, and I'm just literally learning all of this stuff as I'm going on this first attempt, which is pretty easy, I'd say, to, I guess, once you get the hang of the controls. So I was like, you know what, let me just get rid of those extra balls. I don't want to merge and start to, I don't know, all these minor tweaks that you got to put into it. So I was like, let me just keep it all one single mesh for the body, so I could just protrude these legs from it and just flatten them bottoms and just see how it goes. And I think this was the easiest part, where I could just pull off the mesh like it's just real like clay, which made it really easy to use. I think like the head, you're gonna see throughout, but I pretty much left the head like that for like 80%, like for the most part, and I don't add as much vertices to it. I really put a lot more details into the body, I think, maybe way too many subdivisions. There could be a lot of things I could have improved on here, as you see. Like, there's like the decisions I made for this, questionable, I'd say. Like, if I went back, I don't think I would have done the exact same things. But this is just a first attempt. I'm just testing out on how all this works. Even making this video and also doing this recording, it's all pretty new to me. But it's cool. That's another, like, I kept going with the ball mesh to sculpt on, because it just was easier, right? Just adding a ball of clay, and then I just carved in those zigzags that were on the tree growing up on his back, and it was easy. I think that was the easiest part to add, regardless of how nice or ugly it is, but I don't think it's as bad. So I'm like contemplating what the heck to do, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna sculpt those leaves, those petals on the top, the pinkish reddish, and I think it would be smarter for me to model them, because I don't know, sculpting leaves is just such a flat thing. I think they're like a sheet of paper, which would be much easier to do with vertices. It's just easier, I think. So I just went with just modeling it instead of sculpting the petals. This part was pretty satisfying. But you know, like, look at the beauty of doing this kind of art in computers and in real life, because you could just multiply whatever you did once, infinite amount of times, and it just makes your work go so much faster. And you could make so many mistakes and just Control Z, and it works really, really well. So you're gonna see me do a lot of like creating meshes and objects and duplicates and just removing them, because I'm like, yeah, that's not working. And I don't really have a strategic like steps or process that I have to create this stuff. I'm just, you know, going with the flow, winging it, I would say. That's a better way. So okay, this part is it's pretty bad, but it works, you know. So these are like the crowns that you put on the top of Venasaur. I think I could have done like a circle mesh default, put that in, and then just like protrude and merge some tops on it. I have like an idea of what I could have done, which would have been much faster and cleaner than this. I'm sure there's like many other ways, but I just put it one by one. Unfortunately, this took me quite a while to do this whole thing, maybe like 2 to 3 hours, and it's going much faster. So when I had to take a break and I had to do some other things, I had to stop my recording. When I came back to do those petals and leaves, I forgot to start recording, so I'm sorry that you couldn't see that, but I think you saw the gist of what I was doing, just singly modeling the petals. I think the green leaves were really satisfying to create, but you'll see it there as the end results. And you saw the steps that I did to make those. So now I'm just going back in, refining the nose. Pretty standard, I would say. Like, I really hate that it doesn't have enough vertices because it looks like low poly on the mouth, but it's fine. I'm not gonna be mad about my first attempt being this bad. Pretty proud. Okay, so now I'm just doing the teeth, which were really easy. Just pretty damn triangles, right? I chose this Venasaur because I feel like doing something not as complex, like a real life animal or person or character, it was gonna be very discouraging to me to do it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do a single, a simple single creature or scene or something that is not too daunting in details, right? So I think Pokemon are like really awesome and just pretty simple, right? Oh, the eyes were I think they were pretty easy to do once I figured it out. But I think the eyes that I did was not the best way of doing them if I were to add a, what do you call it, skeletal system to it. Rigging it. So I don't know how to rig yet. So hopefully in sometime in the future that I'm gonna try to do that, because I do want to experiment with animating and rigging things. But actually moving and Control Zing the head and body meshes, mainly I think the head, either is really very heavy on my computer, and if I press Control Z, it would just be so much time taken just to get that done. So I try not to do that. And so yeah, I don't think it would have been such a great idea to start learning rigging and animating on this, because it would be maybe problematic, but I don't know. We'll see in the next time. Okay, so now we've gotten to the coloring part, which was really easy. I didn't know how to color, and I just learned, like, you could give a color to whatever mesh you're using and shape with that mode you see on the bottom. And I chose the green color, thinking Venusaur was his body color, and then I was like, something's off. And then I looked again at the references, and I'm like, closer to blue. But see, I made the correction there. And so now I added some lighting to see it in real time while I'm doing it, because the whole time I didn't realize that I forgot you can also actually sculpt and create in color, which is really satisfying to see and nicer. So I'm just adding those petal colors and everything else. Almost done with it. Well, I thought I did do a lot of corrections later on. I think there could have been a way faster way of making the corrections on those crown petal things. If I just did one, I think just duplicate it, right? But oh well. So now I'm just adding in the ears. And I think next time I'm gonna try to do a smarter way of creating the entire body in one go, with modeling it, or using those balls that you can sculpt onto, meta balls I think they're called, and I think that'll work way better, and also re-topologizing it. But I think it turned out pretty well, and I was considering doing rendering and stuff, and doing a circulation animation of the camera, rotating it. But again, rendering it takes a while as well, because remember, I have like way too many vertices on this. So I just dealt with just showing you guys in the window. You'll see around the end, just a couple shots of it. And that's it. I hope you guys liked it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and then I can think about what I can do next time. So thank you. See you next time. Bye.